Hi guys, welcome back to Glimpses of Grace, and for today's video we are wanting to do an update on Ezra and our family as a unit of 5. I can't believe we have 5 members in our family now, but anyway, we want to talk a little bit about how the transition has been since we have gotten home from Korea. Just the first week that we've gotten home. Just the first week that we've been home, and so I guess I'll let you start out.
The first night was a little interesting.
When we got back.
Because we wanted to co-sleep. And we wanted him to definitely feel included. Obviously, he's a part of our family, so we tried that, but it didn't really work. He was like an MMA fighter, hitting one of us in the face just randomly, kind of for no reason. He didn't really sleep all that well.
Yeah, the first few nights we were here, maybe it's because of jet lag also. I remember being up throughout the night. Well, the first night because he slept with us and just kickboxed everybody in bed. But after that, we moved him to his pack-in plane. He slept in there okay, but he would wake up in the middle of the night just like whimpering. And Peter would wake up and go calm him, and he would go back to sleep just fine. But he did that the first few nights, and then after that I think he did surprisingly well. He slept through the night and haven't woken up.
The whimpering, like a mix between a child and like a puppy.
Yeah, poor baby.
But he would still be consolable, which was good. If he was inconsolable, it would be a little more difficult. But yeah, really even the first few days, honestly, went a little better than expected, because I thought it was going to be really, really rough.
For food, he is a great eater. He is not picky at all. And even though his progress report says that he's a small eater, he eats anything and everything, triple the amount of food that our kids eat. And
which is probably due to grieving.
Yes. So he's just really eating his feelings. We don't have to worry about him not eating or anything. Maybe he's gorging a little, but our agency and social worker says that that's okay. If they want to eat, let them eat. And so that is what we are doing. As far as disciplinary behavioral areas, I don't want to call it problems or issues, because it really is just retraining. He doesn't know our family dynamics. He doesn't know our family rules and what we do. So it really is just retraining him to understand where our boundaries are and what happens, like consequences of that.
Here's the thing. That first custody week
in Korea,
we thought
in Korea,
he was going to terrorize our house when we got home. He's a lot more tame here.
Yes,
he's not like Tarzan.
We were expecting for him to be very destructive and get into outlets and, touch the stove or the oven like he was in Korea that first week we had him. But whenever we got back home, he was just like normal. Like he didn't get into any of that. Like rarely did he. It was like it toned down so much, and I don't know if it's just because he was more comfortable here. Maybe a little of everything, like grieving. He's grieving a little less.
A completely different place.
I would say that Edith fought a lot for attention. She is the oldest of the 3, and she has been used to being the oldest. And also, she has been an only child for 2.5 years. So I think spreading or sharing more of the attention from us has been difficult, and I think it is just personality also. But we really had to be intentional, especially when we got back, with spending time alone with her, taking her out on a mommy-daughter date, daddy-daughter date, letting her stay up a little longer than the kids some nights of the week, giving her privileges like that. And she was fighting for attention. Ezra was fighting for attention.
Yeah, spending time with the kids one-on-one is awesome. Like, I love that. Like, it's good for them. It's great for us. Eli's completely good for the most part.
Eli
loves that little, that little guy.
If y'all saw the previous video, you will know how much Eli loves Ezra. Like the moment Ezra walked through those doors, he was just all over Ezra, and he just wants to be the best big brother ever. He is just the sweetest.
Not to say he doesn't like getting him in trouble.
Right. Like, there are times where they don't get along, but I mean, when they do get along, it is just
It's super
precious.
Yeah.
Precious. And Edith has been just wonderful as like the big sister. There are times where she is fighting for attention and she does need more of our attention than the other two kids, but whenever she is around and she's having a good time, like, her little brothers are just a delight to her. I feel like I'm really thankful in how they have adjusted, just like seeing them in that 1 week that we've gotten back, like how much they grew to love each other. Edith and Eli definitely gave Ezra hugs and kisses, but Ezra, he wouldn't do it in return that first week we got back. How are we doing as parents that first little bit that we got back the first week?
For whatever reason, the first week was okay for me. I wasn't feeling near as jet lagged as I did our first trip. Really just learning more about Ezra, learning more about our kids and what all of this looks like it's been good. It's been interesting, sometimes difficult, just because, you know, children, they're not simple beings. They're very complex. But I mean, as parents, I think it's going all right. We have a community of people around us, which is awesome. Tons of people praying, which is great. And really, that's probably what's getting us through this so easily.
And we had just a community of people bringing meals whenever we got back also. So that really did help in the transition. It was kind of like we're going through a newborn phase, and so we had meals lined up for us, which we're very thankful for. That really helped us focus on bonding as a family, and it really helped me because I feel like those first very 2 weeks that we took custody of Ezra was the hardest for me, just because I was praying and hoping for that instant bond with Ezra. And not that I do not love him, I absolutely love him with all of my heart, but it was harder bonding because of all of the other extra things that we were handling, because he is a toddler. He's not a newborn, so he's not sleeping all the time, and I can't cuddle with him. He has his own feelings, his own emotions, and we have to retrain him at the same time, try to bond with him. And so I was really struggling with bonding with Ezra. It was quite hard because whenever he was upset or he was sad and I would comfort him, he wanted nothing to do with me. He wanted Appa, which is fine, but like that's how I usually bond, is I'm nurturing and caring and comforting, and I want to bond that way, and Ezra wanted nothing to do with me. As a whole, I feel like the transition was really, really well that first week we got back.
If she had asked me if I felt like a babysitter the first couple of weeks that we had him, I'd be like, oh yeah, so maybe that's what you're talking about with this question. Yes, it is very, very different than having a child biologically, or at least for us, because everybody's different. But you see, we saw his picture, we knew what we were doing. This was almost a year ago. Love that little guy. And we go there, meet him for the first time in December. It was awesome. And then we come and pick him up in January, which is awesome. But then you take custody and it's like, whoa, this is so different.
Yeah, he's almost 2. He's mobile.
He has his personality. He has history. So it's just so different than having a child biologically, because you start from scratch, versus this is your child. He is your family, and you're starting from zero at
Yeah.
age 2. So it's just different. But nothing that we could have expected. You know, we read books and all this other stuff to prepare ourselves, but even then.
I will have to say, it did feel like we were babysitting the very first few days, because it was just like, you're trying to figure this kid out, he's trying to figure you out, he's trying to figure out what his boundaries are, and we're trying to define them for him in a way that is gracious and loving and also firm.
And he's not excited about you, but you're excited about him.
Yeah.
And it's like,
I feel like so far though, it has been so smooth, and we couldn't have asked for a better transition. So we're thankful and praising the Lord for all of that.
we took him to the doctor, my pediatrician, when I was a kid.
So whenever Peter was adopted from Korea, we're using the same pediatrician from them, which
Yep.
is a very long time
She's
ago.
the same age. I'm just kidding.
The appointment went great. There was nothing wrong. He is developmentally on track. His growth is on track. Also, everything is great. Like, there is nothing that we have to worry about. He does have to go back for a second checkup. We have to do more labs, tests, or whatever it is. But he checked out and we're good. And we also ventured out to the grocery store as a family of 5, and I thought that went really well during that first week. We have been cocooning, and our social worker and our agency definitely recommends it. Cocooning is whenever we take an intentional 4 to 6 weeks just being out of the loop, or like away from everybody else, just being intentional about being at home as a family of 5 together. And so we have been cocooning, and we really have felt that that has been crucial and very beneficial to how fast we're bonding. Yeah, we love cocooning.
It's like a vacation.
It really is. It's a staycation. That's how it felt like. So we're very thankful that we have been able to do that. Thank you so much for following with us on this journey. If you have any more questions, I know a lot of you have been privately messaging us about adoption questions. Feel free to continue to do that. We would be happy to answer them for you.
Yeah, because we're going to do, like, we're going to answer the questions,
yes,
or the best that we can,
yes,
right?
Yes.
Upcoming. So, yeah, keep them coming, and you can ask anything. It's not going to bother us. It's not going to be too personal or whatever. Like, we're good to answer
Yes.
questions.
So we're planning on doing a 1-month update with Ezra, and also some questions that you guys have had for Peter as an adoptee himself. So hopefully we'll find some time to film all of that and get it uploaded in a timely manner. But we'll see how that goes. Anyway, thank you guys so much for subscribing, for liking, and just for supporting our family and praying for us during this transition. And with that said,
Peace.
see y'all in our next one.